After he died, physician Walter Haverfield secretly removed his heart during the embalming process and preserved it in formaldehyde. Hi, my name is Jenny and this is Useless Facts About Luxury Watches, so let's get started. The Rolex Datejust with the date window was introduced in 1953. Apparently, though not verified by Rolex, Wilsdorf invented the Cyclops lens because his second wife had trouble reading the watch. Also, Wilsdorf referred to the updated Datejust case in 1953 as tropical for God knows what reason. And for the longest time, Rolex claimed that the magnification factor of the lens was 2.5, but that info is no longer available on the Rolex website. Omega added the word professional to their Speedmaster moonwatch professionals to the dials in 1964, 7 years after it was first released. George Hartmann did the first prototype and the design was done by Claude Bayot, but it's almost impossible to find any further information about these two online. Also, former US President Nixon was offered a solid gold Speedmaster, but he refused because it would look too fancy. The Tag Heuer Monaco was the first square watch that was also waterproof. And if you look at it closely, you will notice the unusual crown placement as it's on the left-hand side. On average, watchmakers place their crowns on the right-hand side. This square pattern on a Patek Philippe Aquanaut rubber strap has been referred to by Patek as tropical, apparently because of its suitability for water sports. And when it first came out, existing clients weren't a big fan of the watch because it looked so different from the stuff Patek clients were used to. In 1956, Rolex issued a statement in which they recalled their 605 imported into the US GMT-Master 2s with the reference number 6542 because of their radioactive bakelite bezels. And back then, the price of a GMT-Master 2 was $240. In the beginning of the production of the Breitling Navitimer, the number of beads varied from as many as 125 in the early 1950s to as few as 93 in 1960. Willy Breitling was only 21 when he filed the patent for the new type of chronograph with the twin pushers. Gerard Genta, who designed the Royal Oak, named it after a series of 8 ships belonging to the British Royal Navy. It took AP over a year to sell the first 1,000 Royal Oaks, mainly because people had a hard time justifying the price, considering that this was a steel sports watch, because with 3,300 Swiss francs in 1972, it was more expensive than a gold Patek and more than 10 times as a Rolex Submariner. Gerard Genta sketched a design for the Patek Philippe 5711 in about 5 minutes while he was sitting in a restaurant in 1967. It also shares the origin of its name with the first commissioned submarine of the US Navy and the first nuclear-powered submarine. They were all inspired or basically just named after the submarine of Captain Nemo, the protagonist of Jules Verne's novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The first Rolex Submariner had a bezel that you could twist into both directions, but eventually Rolex changed that so that you are unable to accidentally make your diving time longer. Makes sense. The winding crown of the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Candy Pink is made from 10 parts. Same goes, by the way, for every other Rolex watch. The designer of the case of the Reverso, Alfred Javot, filed a patent in 1931 for that case that was so complex and so incomprehensible that JLC had problems rebuilding the case again after trying to revive it in the 1970s when the quartz crisis hit. The Cartier Santos Dumont was named after Brazilian aeronaut Alberto Santos Dumont, and oh my god, after he died, physician Walter Haverfield secretly removed his heart during the embalming process and preserved it in formaldehyde. And after keeping it a secret for 12 years, he wanted to return it to the Dumont family, who obviously did not accept it, and the doctor then donated Santos Dumont's heart to the Brazilian government. And today you can have a look at it because it is on display at the Air Force Museum in Campo dos Afonsos in Rio de Janeiro. The ceramic version of the Bulgari Serpenti Tubugas has the smell of vanilla integrated into the bracelet, and this is absolutely no joke. I tried it myself, I smelled it, it smells like vanilla. The original Max Bill watch from Junghans had different printing on the face. So you could just have the Junghans on it, then there was Junghans Design, Junghans Automatic, and Junghans Meister. The top question on Google regarding the Panerai Luminor is, is Panerai made by Rolex. The Rolex Daytona has 5 marks or indices per second for its chronograph, but its beat rate is 8 beats per second and a frequency of 28,800 Hertz, which makes it not able to 100% accurately sync with the dial since you're not able to stop at an eighth of a beat. It's a mistake based on the fact that the original Daytona movement had a frequency of 18,000 Hertz, which is divisible by 5. So it worked out back then, but it doesn't work out anymore technically. And that was it. Useless facts about some of the most popular luxury watches. If you like to know more useless facts about luxury watches, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and also let me know in the comments down below which fact was your favorite. I personally have to vote for the Santos story. So yeah, if you want to watch more videos of mine, I recommend subscribing to my channel, and then I will see you in my next video. Bye!